Whoa, didn't see you there. Yeah, I got time. I'm back, and Sosuke's back. How's it going? He really wants the mic right now. I hope you all are having a fantastic week and had a fantastic weekend. I know you guys missed me on Saturday. Unfortunately, as you can tell, I'm in a new space. I went through what was, all I could say, probably the biggest move I've ever gone through. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Still unpacking, room's still not finished. But yeah, it was kind of crazy. Yeah, today's topic, I wanted to talk about something that I find interesting. I actually thought about it when I was at work today. The Wii U. Nobody wants one still. It is true. I think the main issue with the Wii U comes down to the aspect of the fact that it is very difficult to get your hands on one. Not a lot of units were sold. Another big part of why the Wii U still isn't seeing people kind of gravitating to the console is the aspect of it being very hard to come across Wii U games as well. The bigger mainstream title ones are easier to kind of get your hands on, but if people really want to kind of get into the aspect of collecting for the console, it's a little bit harder than other ones. There are some games and some dirt cheap ones that you can kind of find, but it's a little bit harder to kind of get the bigger, better ones. The other aspect with the Wii U is it is not terrible to mod. Like, you can mod a Wii U and get emulators and other things running on it. It could be a little bit tricky though, but the issue is working with the hardware, and especially with the gamepad, and the fact that the Wii U can kind of just brick on you. The console itself was one that was cool in concept, but kind of failed in execution in being a success to the Wii. And I think it's an interesting time to talk about this topic with the aspect of we're now seeing one of the first sequels to a Nintendo console with the Switch 2. And the Switch 2 is actually performing well, leagues and bounds better than the Wii U ever did, and has, I guess, the marketing behind it. The issue with the Wii U, especially nowadays, is the aspect of it's hard to get your hands on one, especially one that's in good condition. And that a lot of people are holding on to their Wii U's because a lot of Wii U's are in the hands of people who are kind of fit into that niche fan base of, oh, I like the Wii U. Crazy to say, but there are people like that out there. So it's kind of in this weird middle grounds now where you almost don't know what to do with the console. Not to say that the Wii U didn't have its fair share of games and didn't have success at all. I remember playing games like the original Splatoon on it. I remember playing Smash, I believe it was 4. Yeah, because Brawl was 3. Yeah, Smash 4 on it. I remember playing Bayonetta. I believe it was Bayonetta 2 was the Wii U exclusive. It might have been 2 or 3. I think it was either 2 or 3. I remember playing, no, because Bayonetta 3 was on the Switch, yeah. Bayonetta 2 was the Wii U exclusive. I remember playing that. I also remember playing the game where you're that like really little hero guy. I forget its name, but I probably should have done a little bit more research on that game in particular because I remember playing that pretty expansively. I also remember them trying to bring a lot of third-party support. If you look, the Wii U had a good amount of third-party support, even to the aspect of having multiple Call of Duty games on the console, multiple Assassin's Creed games. So it's not like the console didn't have backing and support from third-party companies as well. It did. The issue was having games run on the console as well. It wasn't really that powerful, especially with the PS4 and the Xbox One being in the same generation as it really just wasn't worth your money at all, because the PS4 and the Xbox One were like literally a generation ahead almost. So you were getting this console that wasn't performing super well, that was performing at the level of a PS3 or an Xbox 360, when the PS4 and the Xbox One were like a year or two around the corner. So it literally was not worth your time or effort to try and go out and try and find one of these things when it was coming out at the time. So people weren't really gravitating to it, especially because they were confused. They had no idea what this thing was. They didn't know if it was just another version of the Wii. They didn't know if it was a brand new console, because the marketing behind it didn't really give a lot to, the consumer. Especially when I was younger, I believe I was around maybe entering or midway through middle school when it was really hitting its stride. The Wii U was just not something that you saw a lot of people kind of say they had. I remember the only people that had a Wii U at the time when I was really getting into those types of like console games were my best friend at the time had one, and he really only played Smash on it, and my older brother. And my older brother's Wii U was the one that I played with the most, and it was the one I got the most play out of. And it's kind of strange to say, but the Wii U at the time was kind of like the premier console for me in the house. My other older brother had an Xbox One S. My younger brother had a PS4. I really only had a 3DS. That was the only console I had until I got a Switch. So for me, it was difficult to kind of maintain this aspect of being like, oh, there's better things out there, when my older brother would let me use his Wii U, and I was like, oh, this is as good as it gets. Like, in my head, I was like, oh, this is fantastic. And it's kind of wild to look back on now and be like, there's so much better. And it stinks too, because I wish the Wii U had a better lifespan, and I wish it had kind of better backing and better just concepts for the console, because the Wii was such a powerhouse and such a monster by itself, and sold so well, and brought so many people to Nintendo, that it's hard to kind of look at the Wii U and it be such a failure, and have its success just be kind of diminished by the aspect of like everything that's come out after it. I mean, the Switch and the Switch 2. And unfortunately, we have this kind of gray area in Nintendo history where the Wii U kind of just sits there, where people got the Wii and the Wii U happened, and then, oh my god, Nintendo's back, the Switch. And people were like, oh, well, how could the Switch even come out if people weren't buying the Wii U? It's because people bought the 3DS. People loved Nintendo's handheld aspect to the company, and that's what made the Switch do so well. Yeah, they kind of took a little bit of the Wii U, especially with the gamepad for the Wii U, kind of being the concept for the handheld aspect of the Switch, and versus the docked aspect of it. And it stinks to see, because that kind of birthed the whole aspect of the Switch in concept, but it just never really went anywhere. And I think that's why you kind of see it not really be talked about, or not really be remembered as fondly now. Why people kind of still don't want one is because there's just so much better out there. You could just mod a Wii, or you could play a lot of just Wii U games on other emulation devices that can run them pretty well. I mean, even the Ion Thor I've seen run Wii U games pretty stellar. So it's kind of hard to argue to try and get your hands on a Wii U and even try and mod it, when there's so many better ways to try to play and to experience Wii U games now. Yeah, again, I it does stink, because I really want to sit here and kind of be like, oh yeah, the Wii U is this amazing thing and everybody loves it and it's remembered so fondly, when that just really isn't the case. I hope you guys did like my little rambling, and I am sorry for the no upload on Saturday or Sunday. Again, this has been the craziest 2 to 3 weeks of my life. It has been insane. I can't really go into 100% details of everything that's happened, but it has been one of the most hectic time periods in my life. But honestly, that's just life. I'm young, I'm almost 25. It's kind of just the time that this stuff is supposed to happen. But yeah, I hope everybody is having a fantastic day. I'm hoping everybody had a fantastic weekend. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you gotta do. And yeah, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Remember to share as well. Tell a friend. I think I forget, because I hear him. Oh, I hear him. And I think you hear him too, because oh no. Oh my, is that Sosuke?